Alright, so today is going to be a quick vlog on the budget. I know the budget was announced months ago from like when I posted this, but at the time of recording, it's actually today. It's 12 p.m. right now, and in an hour, the budget announcement is supposed to be starting, and there is a whole lot of speculation that there will at least be a 10% increment of taxes and import duties, customs on electric vehicles. And I just wanted to talk about it. Some pros, some cons for the consumer, for the government, for other people in between, I guess. The government is losing quite a lot of money in foregone tax revenues from new vehicle purchases by people. In the sense, Oi, why are you doing that? Yeah, that is so risky. People will try to overtake in the city, in random places, and that's not the best. Yeah, it's a lot of foregone taxes. It's like 300% tax on regular IC vehicles, petrol vehicles, versus 50 or so on EV vehicles. And that's a big amount if you think about it. Naturally, Nepal is the only country where EVs are much cheaper in price than petrol cars. It's a bit whack to me. A petrol car being like more than double expensive than an EV car. You won't see this anywhere else in the globe. Everywhere else, it's petrol gasoline cars are the cheapest, followed by hybrids, and then the most expensive by at least a $5,000 to $10,000 margin is the EV alternate to that same gasoline car. Nepal. I don't want to talk too much about it. I feel like I've covered it in my other vlogs. As a result of all of this, you have a lot of consumers very lost in terms of how to do their purchases. Like a lot of people, including people I just met, were like, I want to buy this car, but suddenly I'm hearing the budget might go up from quite an amount of money. And so as a result, what's happening is a lot of people are like, maybe I should hold off from buying a new electric vehicle for the moment, because I don't know how much to expect in taxes. And yeah, it's become very difficult for consumers to plan ahead. What's also been difficult is for companies that sell cars. They have projections, sales projections, numbers, volumes to like meet. Otherwise, they're under the short end of the stick from like exporters abroad, because everyone imports cars here, no one manufactures it themselves. And as a result, it's tough on the companies that sell cars too, about like how to go about all of this. It's like a loss situation, I think, for both the consumer and the seller, especially with the fact that prices change every single year. Like, at least have the same budget for 3 years, and in 3 years you'll have the same price. I mean, sure, prices creep up due to inflation, cost of assembly, cost of supply chain, logistic costs. Yeah, I understand that, but due to taxes, every year the price is going up by like $4,000 to $5,000 or more. Like, there was this one time, again, in the recent history of Nepal, where a EV not just increased in price overnight, but doubled in value almost. Like, how does that make sense to anyone? To people who want to buy EVs, to people who want to sell EVs? Anyway, I'm sensing that Nepali people will still have a appetite for EVs because the price of petrol is still quite high in the country, and I wouldn't see people suddenly wanting to prefer petrol vehicles over EVs just because there's a bit of a price increment. The maintenance cost and like running cost of EVs is still far lower than compared to a gasoline car, but hey, we'll find out how the elasticity of these EV cars are with a budget increment, and just how far Nepali consumers will go into buying a new EV versus a second-hand or a new gasoline car. I'm also interested to see how these new tax policies shape the secondhand market. I've mentioned it before countless times. It's a very baby market, the secondhand EV in the country. And so you really don't know what to expect when prices go up. If taxes increase on these cars, suddenly consumers that want to sell their car, like in the secondhand market, will mark up their prices naturally. No one wants to sell at a loss. And that gives the question, will secondhand EV buyers then be ready to pay that, added margin due to the taxes? I don't know, it's a bit hard to tell. But anyway, at the time of you all watching this video, I'm hoping the EV market will still be in a boom stage and not be in a bust. And for a country like Nepal that spends so much on petrol, diesel imports from India, because that's our primary supplier at the moment, a little bit of loosening up and pivoting towards the EV market, I think, will be good for everyone, at least for the balance of payments, since we spend such a big chunk of our money on importing fuels. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this. What are your thoughts on the budget? Maybe next year's budget. What do you have in mind if this year it wasn't as expected to your expectations? And I'll see you on the next one.